Evening, everybody. My name's darksmoka. I'll be your host for this evening. I will be commentating over the NXTGEN versus MRC team versus team race, sponsored by DAE, David Appleby Engineering. I've just started the stream looking at my car that I've chosen for the MRC's GTTCC season to talk about the Kika charity race we're going to put on for Kika charity. They're a Dutch cancer foundation. Some of the guys from Holland in the MRC have asked us to participate, which we've gladly done. So we've put liveries together, used the logos of Kika down the side there. A bit of promotion for the event itself. It's a 6-hour event, a 6-hour race around Le Mans on the 3rd of August. I believe the time is 5 PM start time for the race. I'll be commentating, myself and Potter McPot will be commentating. You'll see Potter McPot in a minute. We're in his lobby, or we'll be joining his lobby. He and I will be commentating for 6 hours over that. So go check out Kika. It's foundationkika.nl. If you look through Chrome, it'll flick to an English page. There will be links in description below to the Kika Foundation. There will be links in description below to the Just Giving site, which is Mark Sykes Sim Racing for Kika page. There'll be links to MRC and NXTGEN as well. There'll also be links to DAE, which is David Appleby Engineering. All those links will be in description after the race, so make sure you go and check those out. Get yourself on the donation pages and donate. If you want to get involved, get yourselves on the MRC pages or the NXTGEN pages and give Mark Sykes or Dennis Shower a shout, and they'll see if you can squeeze you in. It is a pay-to-play event. Obviously it's for charity, so pay your €5, you get entered into the race, and you know, if you let them know they can shout your name out, we can read your name out online when you donate and stuff like that. So get yourselves over to the Just Giving page or the Kika Foundation page and get your money out. Go give them some cash. So yeah, that's the car I'm using for season 9 of the GTTCC, but we're going to leave this and go join Potter McPot's lobby now, where we're racing at Nords or Nurburgring 24-hour. There's been a lot of chat about this week. A lot of people don't like this course. It is a bit of a beast. Where are we now? Potter McPot, here we go. It's the 24-hour course, so it's the Nordschleife, which is the 21-kilometer main track, and it's got the GP track as well. And that, I think, is about 3.5 kilometers. So that takes it up to about 24k around this track. So there won't be many laps, but strategy will play a part. I think there's going to be a half-an-hour quali. Because it's such a long course, and the laps are so long, it's 8.5 minutes a lap. So all the guys saying they have trouble with this course, they have trouble with the cars. There's been a lot of talk about people not wanting to race it because it's such a hard track, and it is a hard track. It's so long, you know, it's very difficult to learn the whole thing. So people are already asking if they want to change the track. I don't think that's going to happen, Street Boy. This is an endurance race tonight, so it's 50 minutes. As I say, there will be half-an-hour quali because it's such a long track. So at least people can get a couple of hot laps out. It usually is 15 minutes quali, but we're going to have it at half an hour tonight. So this is round 10 of the team versus team event, put on by NXTGEN and Mature Racing Club, sponsored by David Appleby Engineering. The guys there have offered 2 tickets to the winner to the British GT race down at Brands Hatch with garage access. So big shout out to them for that. Big shout out to Dennis Shower and Mark Sykes for organising the MRC pages and the NXTGEN pages. Dion and Andre as well, big shout out to those for setting up this or being instigators of this 6-hour charity event as well. So big shout out to those guys. Big shout out to the guys at Kika. make sure you pay attention to this stream and the upcoming videos. There'll be more information about the race as it comes in. So I'm just going to flick to track then. Let's go and have a look at some of the guys. Put some info on for you guys. So Hyperion out in front at the minute, but they are only just out on pit laps. So there might be, I don't know what fuel consumption is going to be like around here. It is set at fuel consumption is ×3 and tyres are set at ×4. They can use any combination of tyres tonight in the Enduros. There's no set compound change, so they can do whatever they want, racing softs, racing hards, mediums, whatever they want. And they do start with a full tank of gas. Depending how I don't drive very often with fuel on and stuff, so I don't know how many laps they'll get out of a tank at ×4. I know a lot of guys do some testing, do a few laps of an evening to see how far they can get on tyres and fuel, etc. But I haven't got time for that myself. So I believe Hyperion knows this track quite well. And he has been putting this guy, Potter McPot, under a lot of pressure through some of these races. So it'll be interesting to see how the pair of them fare around here. Difficult track to race around. It is a difficult track to even drive around at race speed. So when you're battling with people as well, trying to get past them off the racing line, it's one of those tracks where you get let's say you get this corner wrong, it'll upset you for sort of 3 or 4 corners down the track. It's one of those kind of racetracks. So Potter McPot currently holding first place in this championship. Hyperion in second. It is looking good for Potter McPot. 3 races left, including this one. So we have got Catalonia next week. That's a sprint race, and then the final. That's round 12 at Circuit de la Sarthe. That's an enduro. Evening, Jake. CJW sent you. Want to spy on me? Well, you never know. We might be in the same lobbies later, depending on how many people turn up. I mean, we've got 8 in this lobby. I don't know. I don't know how many's in CJ's lobby. So we'll flick through the pack. Just have a quick look at Purcell. As I say, it will be a while before we start seeing times. They are 8.5 minute laps, and it is half an hour quali tonight. This will give us a good indication of who knows the track and who doesn't. You may see a lot of guys just burning the fuel off on their first lap to try and get a better second lap in, and obviously not put their tyres through too much pressure. Louis in the bright orange Mercedes. Just jumped through to VLX Bobby. He's one of the regulars. Has been having a bit of trouble in at Lamborghini. Chewy D, I think he was a no-show last week. And just for you lovely people, I've downloaded a track map, so I kind of know what corners people are on. So Chewy D is just coming up to the Arenberg. Down into Foxhole. I hope this is impressing my German colleagues as well, because I've translated these as well. Thank God for Google. Okay, Jake, so 12 races in the other lobby, so it's not looking like we're going to have combined lobbies tonight. That's no problem. Chewy having a bit of struggle in the Audi there. So Pav, this guy's not long joined this league. He's also turned up and put the pressure on Potter McPot. Streetway, the BMW. People about track map. I've put it down and lost it. I've got it now. I've got it. You see Hyperio coming up to the Ezekiel. What's commonly known within our group of friends as the Ezekiel anyway. Also known as the Swallowtail by the Germans. As we see Hyperio just getting the Ezekiel wrong there. He heads into the Lamshank. Potter McPot closing him in. Potter McPot just knows this track. I was chatting with him last night. We were on there. Had a few laps around the Berg. It is one of our favourite tracks. So you can see the guys have used over a quarter of a tank on one lap. Quite a bit of tyre wear as well. As I say, it is about 24 kilometres with the GP track as well. Watch Hyperio coming to Animal Garden. Now back onto the GP track and into the pits. So it looks like he's burnt fuel off. Whether he goes for fuel and tyres, probably not, just tyres. Potter McPot's decided to stay out, so he's got a bit more fuel than Hyperio, not quite as worn tyres. 8:36 on his outlap. He did say he was thinking about just doing one single flyer. See how that pays off for him. So Hyperio back out the pits, fresh rubber. Yeah, he's not taking on board any fuel, so the car will be a bit lighter. See if he's a bit quicker. Whole game joined the room. Good to see him. I think he was another no-show last week. So a 9:08 for Louis on the outlap. So we watch Purcell coming across the line on his outlap. The 9:53. VLX Bobby with an 8:57. Pav's still way back as he comes out of Plants Garden and into the Ezekiel. So you will see the DAE logo of David Appleby Engineering plastered on the front and back of most of these cars. Those guys are sponsoring this series. If you need to check out the other lobby, I don't know if anyone's live streaming it, as in commentary wise. I think CJW is streaming his race from his perspective. Go check out CJW Racing if you want to see the Pro-Am lobby. This is the Pro lobby you're watching right here. So we'll see what Pav can do. a long old straight, this one. So into Antonius Beach, then into Animal Garden, back onto the GP course. So Pav as well deciding to stay out. So his out lap is an 8:36. That's a good lap from him, even with an out. Street Boy just coming out the Ezekiel, out the lamp shank, and onto the back straight. So we'll just flick back up to Pot. Currently out in front with he's got an 8:36 on his out lap. See if he can better that. This guy we're watching now, Pot, he and I will be commentating over the 6-hour charity event I mentioned at the start of the stream. Yes, I did say 6 hours. We should be good. We've got Just Eat, Uber Eats, we can order pizza. So I will chat about the charity event a little bit more at the end of this race, and if we get a bit of a slow period, I might chat about it in the middle of the race as well. To report on really during the quali. Louis holding a little penalty there. Like I say, this is a very difficult track to get around. You don't know it. Pav looks like he knows it. Full tilt through there. Full tilt through here into 6. Down the hill, back up the other side, little lift, depends how they got the car set up. Brake now, second or third, he's dropped into third, and then down into the foxhole, all the way up to top speed down here. Maybe 2 gears around this corner. Oh, he's kept in 5th, okay. I'll drop it into 4th for that one. Again, it depends how the ratios are set up in this this lobby. These guys have set their cars up. Little lift around there. Drop it into 3rd for this one. To 4th, 2nd for this one. Oh, he's kept it in 3rd, okay. Full power through this. It's brake coast this corner. It's a little bit awkward to get right. As we see Pav just dropping a wheel on the grass. Did manage to control it though into the hairpin. Good drive from it through the hairpin as well. He heads up towards Bergwerk. Translates to Mineworks. And down into Little Valley. flick through to Potter, coming down the back straight. Keep an eye on him as he comes across the line. Sparks flying off the back of the Mercedes there. Drifting around that corner. So his second lap being an 8:07. So that's a good time. Fastest lap at the minute. Here's the first one round for his hot lap. And he's hitting purple sectors as well, even with worn tyres. Coming up the back straights as well. See what these guys do. So L game with a 8:29. 22 seconds off Potter. Louis with an 8:17. Hyperio, what did he get? An 8:57. He did dive in the pits after his first lap though, so he's still on an out lap. This is now his hot lap. Pav coming around Plants Garden towards Swallowtail. You can see the tyre wear affecting the stability of the Aston around there. Around the lamp shank. To the back straight. So it's about a minute from this bridge to the finish line. Might be a little bit quicker because they don't have to make the last turn onto the Nordschleife section. So we'll have to see what Pav can do against Potter McPot and Hyperio. They've been really the strongest two contenders in this series. Did have NGR Dawson turn up for a couple of races, put some pressure on the boys as well, but not seen him for a couple of weeks. So Pav with a 8:07, so not quite as fast as Potter McPot, but within the realms. Strong lap from him then. Well, that does mean now he's got to drive this whole lap on worn tyres, no fuel before he can get back to the pits and put a lap in, get new tyres and fuel, and then he's on another out lap. So most of the lads will probably only get 1 or 2 hot laps in, and their second hot lap will be a slow one because tyres will be worn out. See what Potter's doing, see if he's still putting in purple sectors. Not quite, it's about a second back on his time. I know Potter McPot knows this track. He'll know where he's lost time and where he can gain it. So VLX still not with a fast lap at the moment. 8:18 for Street Boy. It's a good lap from him. Puts him ahead of Hyperio, who's out for another flyer. Again, VLX Bobby no time, Perzel no time, and L Games out in the pits. Into the Calvacell. Another difficult corner, the Calvacell. If you don't get your wheels in that little hollow, you lose so much time through that corner. Using all the track there. Say this is a track you've got to know every curve, which ones you can hit, which ones you can't, all the lumps and bumps. Just catching going on the grass there, all bottom and pot, and then drifting it off the track. So yes, difficult track once you get it offline, very difficult to get it back online. So maybe the end of quali, the timer has it is ticking over at 57 minutes, but I think they had the lobby open for about half an hour before I joined. So most of the guys just hanging about, waiting for the race to start. Getting it all wrong there. Again, really worn out tyres. Just trying to figure out who he's got behind him. It's not Perzel. Hyperio. So you want to check out Hyperio on Twitch as well. He's got his channel on Twitch. Does a lot of team versus team stuff, races for Team Sweden. So if you're on Twitch or you've got Twitch, go and check him out. I don't know how it works on Twitch. Does he give them a like? I don't know. Just getting it massively wrong there. Come on, camera. There we go. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting if the guys could just get it around the track in one piece, let alone fighting each other. Pineapple juice required. So that's enough of Hyperio driving on the grass. Perzel also raced in season 13 of the team versus team event as well in the Pro League. I'm just reading from my notes. I lost a couple out of the lobby, I don't know where they've gone. Chewy D's gone, Bobby's gone. Oh no, Bobby's there. Who else are we missing? So no dangly ball tonight. Hyperio's left the lobby. Oh, Hyperio's back in the lobby. Who's here? Pav's in. So no Jambu tonight at the minute. No NGR E30 and no NGR Cashman. So I don't know whether they've knocked this league on the head. Yeah, no APA3 either. Dives into the Calvacell. Again, if you don't get it on that light grey strip, that's that corner over for you. Most of the guys, like I say, are just sitting about waiting for this race to start. We're just waiting for Persil and Hyperio to oh, it's Potomac Pot that's part there, okay. So yeah, might just be waiting for Persil to finish his lap. Mercedes a popular choice in this league. So just Persil, Bobby's in ghost mode, so just Persil out actually driving on track at the minute. Trying to better his time, currently sitting in 6th. While he crosses the line. Being he's the only one out driving at the moment. So Persil heading down Dottinger High. Hill. And then back down the hill to the extremely fast S's. And then dropping back onto the GP course. So we'll just keep an eye on his lap time there. So putting himself up in 3rd then, Persil, just before Potomac Pot starts the race. So standings, Potter in 1st, Pav in 2nd, Persil in 3rd, Louis in 4th, Street Boy in 5th, L-Game in 6th, VLX Bobby in 7th, Hyperio in 8th, and if Chewy D turns up, he might be in 9th. So only 8 drivers in the lobby. Chewy D's not managed to get himself in. So we'll keep our eye on the start between Potomac Pot and Pav. Lights are going red. Wait for those to drop. And they're off. So VLX Bobby getting a good start. Down the inside, Potter keeping his 1st. Pav looking down the inside. Probably not close enough. No. Make Potter think though. So VLX Bobby getting up into third from the start, from last, so from seventh, so good drive from him. Taking up several places and putting Louis back into fourth. So we'll just run through the order off the start. Potter in first, Pav in second, Bobby in third, Louis in fourth, L-Game in fifth, Hyperio in sixth, Street Boy in seventh, and Purzel in eighth. So Purzel not having a good start after getting third on the grid. Bobby losing a bit of time to Potter and Pav. He's got Louis crawling all over him. But Pav's taking an inside line. He's not going to get him through there. As they head back up at Nurburgring. Through Hudson back, the NGK chicane, past the pit entrance. Now they drop onto the Nordschleife. So we will just flick through the pack, keep around the guys. So Pav keeping his distance from his gap to Potter. Bobby making up that time as well to Pav. Still got Louis crawling all over him. L-Game just a second back from Louis. Hyperio 1 and a bit seconds back from him. So Purzel 3.2 back from Hyperio. So real bad start from him. Street Boy as well at the back. 1 second. So Street Boy was in fifth off the grid. He's at the back. I didn't. Looks like he's had some action already. Just scraping up the front of his car. We jump back up to the front. So Pav all over the back of Potter Pot now. I've just got to watch it down the hill. As I say, it's a very difficult track to actually overtake on. It's quite a thin course. Full tilt now into Carlin Forest. Down into the foxhole. I've got that wrong, sorry, Arenberg into the foxhole. So Louis losing a bit more, Bobby losing a bit more time to Pav. Seems to have gained control of that Lamborghini though. So Louis just getting it a little bit wide there. Losing touch with the back end a slight little bit. He's now got L-Game pretty close. In striking distance. Hyperio's gained on them as well. So Purzel dropping a little further back. Street Boy losing more time to Purzel as well. So Hyperio and Potter and Pav pulling out a chunk of time on VLX Bobby and Louis. So Pav doing a good job to keep Potter in tow. Haven't got any info on for you guys, apologies. So we will have to keep our eye on tyres and fuel. That's going to be crucial during this race. Potter getting it a little bit wide there. Head down into Kleebert, brake hard for Kleebert into third, back up the hill. Kleebert's not the real name of that corner, by the way, people. I will just reiterate that before I get people complaining. So Pav right on the back end of Potter. The 300 tenths of a second. Neither of them putting a foot wrong. So I'll just jump back to this little battle between these guys, VLX Bobby, Louis and Hyperio. Good battle for third at the minute. Pav heading up to the Calvercel. Again, chucking it into that light tarmac. That's the grippy stuff. So Pav losing a bit of time to Potter there. He's gaining it back. Both guys on the soft tyre. So there might be a bit of fuel saving during this race as well. So Pav manages to close that gap a little bit. So this is the battle for third. Oh, we just see Bobby getting a little bit wide and putting it on the grass. So that's going to give Louis and Hyperio a bit of a look. Gets it on the grass again there. As I said earlier, get one corner wrong, that puts you wrong for the rest of them. Again, Louis going wide. So losing the place to Hyperio. Got a bit of a gap between himself and L Game, so not a lot to worry about from behind for Louis. Hyperio gaining a little time on VLX Bobby. So again, Bobby just getting two wheels on the grass there. He's got to watch that. Guys heading to Swallowtail. It's what we commonly know as the Ezekiel. I know that's not the real corner, but that's what we call it. And heading up to what we also commonly call Lamshank. Get that one wrong. That's a time loser right there. So we jump back up to these guys at the front. Potter McPot still managing to keep that gap consistent. 8 tenths of a second. So we'll have to keep an eye on lap times as well. This is grid start, so they won't be the fastest of laps. Considered it's 24 kilometres long, the lads aren't doing bad keeping it within that distance of each other down around this track. So Potter McPot with an 8:16 with his fastest lap. As I say, that was a grid start, so there will be faster laps to come. So currently holding fastest with that. Pav with an 8:17.3. VLX Bobby with an 8:23. Hyperio with an 8:24. Louis with an 8:28, Street Boy 8:37, L Game with an 8:38, Purzel with an 8:42. So Potter and Potts losing a tiny bit more time to Pav. So maybe Pav knows the GP course a little bit better than Potter. On this battle as well between VLX Bobby and Hyperio. So Hyperio's closed that gap dramatically now. And again getting a little bit wide, Bobby. So looking like Hyperio might have this place down here. If they head back up the hill towards the chicane. Side by side though, Bobby's not letting him have it. He will have the inside line. But he's outbraked himself and it has replaced him on track, so unfortunate for Bobby, he's going to lose another place to Louis there. So Pav's managed to get in front of Potter. And he's got a fair old chunk on him as well. I missed that, sorry people. It's difficult to keep my eye on it all. And he's pulling out time on Potter as well. In sections anyway. Getting it a little bit wide there. So putting in purple sectors as well is Pav. So maybe that's all he needed, just a clean track. No one in his way. Evening watchers, give us a shout, say hello. So Bottom of Pot's got his work cut out to haul that place back off Pav. Let's close the gap though through there. Just difficult to overtake round here. We'll have to see whether Bottom of Pot just holds off. Waits for the right opportunity. Whether he's feeling brave and goes for a lunge. Just going to flick back to Hyperio, who's racing out all on his own now, so lost VLX Bobby's lost loads of time. He's got Louis chasing him down again. Guys at the back some coverage, so looking like a good bit of a battle for 6 at the minute with Street Boy, Persil and L-Game all pretty close. So 3 good battles going on at the minute. Guys are having a bit of a peek down the inside there, not quite the place to do it. Oh, he's made the place through there though. I don't know whether Street Boy gave him that. VLX Bobby having a nightmare. So maybe Bob's not managed to corral that Lamborghini quite yet. The Wild Bull living up to its name. So I'll just jump back up to the front. So Pav and Potter, the gap's still quite consistent, just under a second. Over a second now. So the guys use half a tank of fuel and they've only done 1.5 laps. Potter's slightly better on the fuel, slightly better on the tyres. See whether that plays out during the race. Very difficult to gauge on laps this long. So Pav's still holding purple sectors. Potter won't be happy about that. I'm sure he'll like the fastest lap as well as the win. So L-Game's left the room, and looks like Bobby's left the room as well. So only 6 guys in the lobby now. Good battle between these two for first place. Hyperio out on his own. Louis out on his own, and another close little battle between Persil and Street Boy. Closing that gap a tiny little bit. Gap consistent Potter. Hyperio 8 seconds back from the 2 at the front. 20 seconds out from Persil behind him. So Persil holding 2.8 second penalty. Street Boy's only 2.5 seconds back from him. So he's got to be careful, Persil. He could lose that place to Street Boy. Louis struggling now, 9.9 back from Street Boy. was sitting in third for the point during this race. He was holding fourth for a long time behind Bobby, and then Bobby lost it. So Potter McPot obviously having an absolute nightmare. He's put it in the wall, I think. 7 seconds back from Pav now. Yeah, shame when people drop out the lobbies. It becomes a little bit harder to commentate on. Easier in some senses, I've got less drivers to worry about, but harder because it means less action. So it gets to the point where I'm just watching single drivers almost do hot laps. So Pav now holding fastest lap with an 8:12.3. We'll see if Potter could better that. I wouldn't have thought so, being as he's just been off the track. So no, an 8:20 for Potter. Hyperio with an 8:17. So Street Boy coming around the last couple of corners. Diving into the pits. So he's going for an early stop, is Street Boy. Purcell also into the pits as well. So Street Boy managed to take Purcell on that last section there. Purcell obviously losing his penalty up the back straight there, causing him to lose that place. So we are already 20 minutes into this race, 18 minutes into this race. Plenty of time left to go. Street Boy rocking the medium tyres. Purcell rocking the soft, still holding 1.6 second penalty though. So Pav still holding a good gap over Potter, losing a little bit. It was 7 seconds, it's now 6.3. Was sticking in purple sectors again was Pav. So drops back onto the Nordschleife out of the GP track. Slowly closing that gap, 5.8 now. It's 5.7 now for Potter. He's got 5.3 seconds behind him to Hyperio, so he does just have to watch himself a little bit. Tilt up here now, dropping into 6th there, down the hill and back up. Look for the light patch and tarmac and turn it in. Brake where it changes again. And down into the foxhole. Again, full power down here. 6 gear flooring in, 1 or 2 gear drop into this corner, another gear drop into this corner, and then into 2nd for this one. A little bit of acceleration out of there, and full power again. Little lift through this one. Drop into 3rd. Back up into 4th, and then straight back down into 2nd. And then full power through this little chicane. And then it's the brake coast to coast right. A difficult one to get right. losing a bit more time now. It's closed into 5.2 actually, Potter, excuse me, it was 6 seconds. Gained a bit of time over Hyperio. Another driver leaving the lobby, so Street Boys left now. Only 5 guys racing. So Potter getting it a little bit wide there. 5.5 the gap, 6.5 to Hyperio behind him. We'll just jump through to Louis. Louis having a real good race at the start. He's now over 30 seconds behind Hyperio. And Purcell's now sitting at the back due to Street Boy dropping out. Still holding 1.5 second penalty. Not quite liking this track, maybe, Purcell. You should do, my friend. It's your home track. So Potter closing that gap a bit more now, down to 4.7. Now the gap between Potter and Pav. So I will just flick back to Potter. Tyres looking a lot less warm, holding a little bit more fuel than Pav. Pav will be struggling on those tyres now. So Potter managed to close that gap now to 3.4. Extending his gap to Hyperio behind him to 8.3 as well. So Pav must be able to see him in his mirrors. From all that way back, 7 seconds, now only 3.5. So you're watching the NXTGEN versus MRC team versus team race. This season has been sponsored by David Appleby Engineering, or DAE. You can see their logos on the front and backs of all the cars racing today. They've kindly sponsored this event with 2 tickets to the winner to the GT race down at Brands Hatch with garage access. So a big shout to James and David for that. Cheers, guys. There will be links in the description below to the David Appleby page, to the NXTGEN Racing page, and to MRC page as well. I'll also put links in description for the Kika charity that I talked about at the beginning, and I'll be chatting about it again at the end. And the links to the Just Giving page for them as well. So stay tuned for that. Potter managed to close that gap to 1.8. Extending his gap massively over Hyperio now up to 13.8 seconds. So this looks like where the action's going to be. So we'll have to see if they both come in for pit. They'll both have to come in for fuel, definitely. So Pav's in, Potter's in. All the guys will be in this lap, apart from maybe Purcell, who came in last 2 laps ago, I believe. So halfway through this race, 50-minute enduro. To come out of the pits, 1.3 back from Pav. it will still have to pit again, I think. We'll just flick through to the other guys. Person still out on track. Still 20 seconds back from Hyperion though. So Pav keeping that gap at 1.2. Hyperion out on his own, nearly 20 seconds either side. Purzel also out on his own, which will leave Louis out on his own. So we'll keep an eye on these two. Potter closing that gap a little bit. Oh, CJ, man, don't be rage quitting. Why have you rage quit? You're not like this track. I told you, mate. I told you to get some practice in. It took me 2 years to learn it, mate. 2 years. 2 years at race pace, at least. So Potter managing to close that gap a little bit. Down to 9/10 of a second now. Pav's dropped onto the mediums for this stint. Potter stayed on the softs, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Yeah, I get your point. I get your point, CJ. But you know, if you're not having fun, you've got to stay on the track and learn the corners. You know, we used to race this track on the time trial. We still do, me and the lads, and I try not to sort of quit too early, so you don't, you know, you can learn the back half of the course, not just the front half. Yeah, Potter is a beast here, mate. He is on the faster tyre, but whether that plays out later on in the race, we'll have to see. But yes, he is a bit of a beast around here. In the time trials that we do, mate, he's 6:24.7, I think, something stupid like that. I'm 10 seconds back from that. I don't even know where I can make the time up. Yeah, unfortunately, CJ, the GTTCC's got the Nurburgring in it. It's got the 24-hour course in it as well, so, you know, you're just going to miss that race out. Fair enough, mate, fair enough. Can't let it stress you out. Potter has closed that gap a little bit on Pav. As CJ has mentioned, he is on the faster tyre. You've got to get yourself in the GTTCC, mate. You've got to do it. You'll love it. If you don't race here, I get to call your names, don't I? You can't have that. You can't have me call you names and racing while you're not racing and not calling me names. Ah, so Pav just getting it wide there and Potter taking that place back. I'm glad we're stuck with this. This is the only action out on track, really. pulling out a bit of a gap on Pav. That's not fair. You can't do that, CJ. I thought we were friends, mate. I thought it was just going to be friendly banter on track. You can't just give me shit for no reason, brother. So Potter is extending that gap from Pav. Pav losing a little bit of time to Hyperio as well, 3 seconds there. I know it's all good banter, bruv. I know it's all good banter. Until it goes too far. So Potter now extending his gap to 1.5. Just flick through to the other guys. I missed Hyperio out, apologies for that. That's why I missed Hyperio out, because I knew he was going to smash into the wall. I didn't want to see it. Purcell still holding penalties. Must be having a lot of off-track action. He's gaining a bit of time on Hyperio though. We just saw Hyperio hitting the wall, that's going to slow him down. Maybe give Purcell a look in. Nothing to worry about really from behind. Louis 14 seconds back. So Potter now 3 seconds up from Pav. Just will flick back to Pav. So even Pav on the mediums, his tyre wear is as bad as Potter's on the softs. He has gained a little bit of time, 0.2 of a second down here. More time out of him on this straight. Time coming down pretty rapidly though. 2.3 seconds now between Potter and Pav. So 16 minutes remaining to this race. Only 5 guys left, unfortunately. We've had Bobby leave the lobby. We've had Street Boy leave, Chewy D's left. Oh, he left in the quali, apologies. Who else have we had leave? L Games left. Yeah, that's all I can see that's left. But there's more. There was 9 originally. 8 started the race, and now we're down to 5. That gap coming down between Pav. Yeah, I know what you're saying, CJ. There was a lot of chat in the group chat before this race about people not liking this track, but it's, you know, there's loads of tracks I don't like. I hate Interlagos, hate it. Hate Brands Hatch, hate it. Not even driven Goodwood yet. Not even been on there. Couldn't even tell you what that's going to be like. But if it's part of the league, it's part of the league. Got to race it. So Pav closing that gap a little bit. We'll have to see what happens when they hit the Nordschleife. Like I say, I think Potter's a bit more confident on the Nordschleife than Pav. Not saying Pav's not, but it does seem to be where Potter's making most of his time. He's holding 1.5 second penalty though. He's got to drop that. Otherwise, Pav's going to have an easy ride at it. 1.4 back now is Pav from Potter, 1.5. Same as Potter's penalty. So again, tyre wear very similar between the two guys. Maybe even a little bit more tyre wear on the mediums from Pav. Is still coming down though. Maybe Potter McPot doing a bit of fuel saving. So Louis managed to get past Hyperio. So up into third. He started in third, Louis. Did drop back quite way back down the pack. Fought his way back up, but a lot of those places are due to dropouts. So gaining a bit of time over Hyperio as well. Purzel only 15 seconds back from these pair as well, so not too bad for Purzel. Again, just getting it slightly wrong there. So we flick back up to the front, gap up to 2.2. Potter still holding that penalty. So he needs to be thinking about losing some of that penalty. Next few corners, I'd have thought. Excuse me while I pineapple juice. This is round 10 of the team versus team event. There are 2 rounds left after this. Next week we're at Catalonia for a sprint race, so it's a slightly different configuration to this one. That means there's 2 races next week. 15-minute quali, and then we jump into the first of 2 races. The first race is 10 laps. They start with a full tank of gas, and they can run any tyres between the racing softs and racing hards. And the second race of the evening is 18 laps. That's half a tank. They start with half a tank and they must use 2 different compounds of tyres. Mandatory pit. They do have to use 2 different compounds. So the same fuel and tyres will apply for the sprint races. That's ×3 for fuel and ×4 for tyres. Next week is at Catalonia, and then round 12, the final, is at Circuit de la Sarthe, and that's an enduro, so same format as tonight, 50 minutes, any compounded tyres, and race for the win. Again, this season has been sponsored by David Appleby Engineering, that's DAE. You will see their logos on the backs of all the cars racing in these leagues. There are two lobbies open, a Pro and a Pro-Am, and this is the Pro League. The Pro-Am might be online at some point, I don't know. Someone might do a post-race commentary over it. I don't think anyone was streaming it live, and if they did, they rage quit. CJ! We won't talk about that. So Potter still holding his 1.5 second penalty. Losing a little bit around there. Needs to think about doing more of that if he's going to keep Pav at bay for the rest of this race. Must have just got it on the grass there a little bit. He's lost a lot of time to Potter, 3.6 seconds back. Tyre wear looking dramatically worse on Pav's car on the mediums than it is on Potter's on the softs. I say dramatically, it wasn't really dramatic. There's a fair difference between the two. You would expect Potter's tyres to be worse for wear, being they're soft. but actually it's the racing mediums of Pavs that have taken a bit of a beating. Into the lamb shank for Potter. And onto the back straight. So it's 3 seconds over Pav. We'll see where he loses this penalty. So looking like they'll only get one more lap in. Just over 8 minutes remaining. These laps, so fastest lap at the minute is at 8:12 by Pav. So by the time they hit the finish line, they will only have one lap left. Back onto the GP course then. Potter losing some penalty. Only holding 0.5. That's Potter's fastest lap of an 8:16. Only holding 0.3 of a second. Not losing a lot of time to Pav either. So 0.3 of a second penalty Potter's holding. Losing a tiny bit of time to Pav. So although it doesn't say last lap on the screen, when the timer ticks down to 0, that's the first man across the line after that point. So Pav now holding a 1 second penalty as well. That's not going to bode well for his race. Tyre wear looking very similar on both cars now. Losing a bit more time to Potter is Pav. Almost 3 seconds now the gap. As they jump back onto the Nordschleife. 2.8 seconds the gap. Time coming down a little bit. 2.6. We will just flick through Hyperio, 48 seconds back from Pav, so not a lot to worry about for Pav, unless he has an absolute nightmare on this last lap. Louis has lost a little bit of time to Hyperio as well. He was only 5 seconds back. He was in front of Hyperio. He's lost that place, so I've missed that. He's got Purcell breathing down his neck as well. Purcell has lost his penalty now. And he has got the better tyres as Purcell on this final lap. The gap's coming down. I'll just flick back up to the front, keep her on this one. So Potter extending his gap a little bit, 3.2. As long as Purcell can keep it on track, it's looking good for him to take that place off Louis. It's going to be interesting to see where he decides to do the overtake. Will he try it down here into the hairpin? Louis taking the defensive line, so not looking good for Purcell around there. So he gets a good drive out of this corner. Again, very difficult course to overtake on. Very thin track. He's dived down the inside though, as Purcell, and he's taking the place off Louis. A good move off him there, taking the curb. Maybe a bit too much curb, but made it work for him. He's now taking the place off Louis. So a good bit of driving from Purcell there to take that place. It's a difficult corner at those sort of speeds. That gap has come back down though. So this might be a good battle on the last lap. We'll just keep up to the front. So Potter losing a bit more time to Pav. 2.2 seconds, has dropped all his penalty though. And Pav now still holding 0.9 of a second. So I just don't want to miss this battle between these two. Losing a little bit of time there, Louis. His tyres are pretty battered though. He's going to struggle to keep up with Purcell now. Flick through to Purcell's. He's got, we just see Louis crashing into the wall there. So yeah, his tyres are about blown out. He's struggling to even get it going. So Purcell gained a big chunk of time there over Louis. So we'll flick back up to the front. That gap was coming down between Potter and Pav, but Pav's obviously had a moment. 9 seconds back from Potter now. Not a lot he's going to be able to do about that. We've only got 2 minutes before the timer ticks over, and then it'll be a case of the first man over the line, which at the moment is looking good to be Potter. He's consistent, old Potter, around this track. So just the Ezekiel to go. Actually called a swallowtail, but the Ezekiel for the boys that know me. Oh, Potter getting it wide there, so he's got to watch it. That gap not coming down between him and Pav, so maybe Pav's had another moment. Oh no, that gap has come down now, so down to 4 seconds. Still going to be difficult to grab that 4 seconds back on just this last straight. That gap actually extending between Potter and Pav. So Pav not even giving it full beans with 3/4 throttle there. He's coasting, looking like he's thinking he might run out of fuel before the end of the race. So Potter McPot coming around the last corner, going for the obligatory handbrake across the line by the look of it. There we go. Good old Potter. So Potter in first place. Pav coming through in second. No obligatory handbrake, no, a bit of a swerve. But almost out of fuel there, Pav. Unfortunate for him. He's having a good race. Was leading for a while. Real good battle between him and Pav though most of the race. Hyperio just coming around the last couple of corners. 30 seconds back from these two boys, Pav and Potter. All sorts of damage to the front of his car, look. So Hyperio in third. Just watch Louis coming around the last few corners. Sorry, Purcell. So Purcell bringing home fourth. And Louis, unfortunately for him, bringing it home in last. Did start in third, Louis. Was looking to have a good race. So that was round 10, people. That was the team versus team event between NXTGEN and MRC. The series has been sponsored by David Appleby Engineering. That's DAE. You did see their stickers all over the car. They sponsored this race with 2 tickets to the British GT race down at Brands Hatch for Garage Access. So cheers to David and James for that. Again, good racing from these guys. Let me just give them a bit of a... Where's that one gone? Blah, 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 blah. That was a phenomenal race. You can have one of those. Pot and Pav. So yeah, good bit of racing. Shame we had a lot of guys disappear. Always better when there's more people on track. It just makes for better racing. I am just going to jump out of this lobby and go straight to my random car and have a chat to you about the upcoming charity event we've got going on. So hold fire, people. I don't want to change car livery. I just want to stay on this page here. So this car here is the car I'm going to be using for the upcoming GTTCC season with MRC. You can see it's emblazoned with all sorts of stuff. I've got the Caterpillar logo. I've got my channel logo there, the darksmoka, on backwards obviously, so you can see me coming up your arse. But you will see the Kika logos and the handprints all over the car. That's the Kika Foundation that we're running the 6-hour charity event for. These guys are a Dutch charity. We were asked by some of our Dutch members of the MRC to get involved. We've happily done so. We've agreed to put on a 6-hour charity race. There will be 4 different sim racing groups taking part. So there's ourselves, MRC, there is NXTGEN, who I'm commentating for again tonight. They're both English sim racing leagues, and then we've got WR and DC, which are Dutch racing sim racing leagues. So those guys are getting involved as well. So Kika are a children's cancer charity. So Kika is for Ki is for kindergarten, and Ka is for cancer. And they're pretty much there just to make the quality of life of the kids better. A lot of research as well. They have managed to wangle it so they've got all the sort of cancer research facilities in Holland all moved into one place, which is the Princess Maxima Centre. So they managed to put all their cancer research venues in one place, so they're not going to go searching around. Everyone's in the same, building, and it's easy for them. And yes, we're going to put on a 6-hour charity race for these guys. It's around the Le Mans track. It's on the 3rd of August. I did write some stuff down about it. Where have I put that now? I don't think there's a lot more to actually say that I've written down. It's a mix of GR3 and GR4 cars. It was just going to be GR3s, which you've been watching race tonight, but we've decided to flick it between GR3s and GR4s. It'll be an open lobby format, so it won't be an actual race. It'll be an open qualifying lobby. So we don't think that the servers will hold up for a full 6 hours, so we're going to put it into a qualifying lobby, so if people do get disconnected, they can rejoin without any issues. It is a pay-to-play event, so you pay your €5 to race. and you can join the lobby. Obviously, if you've paid your €5, you don't want to get kicked out. Hence the reason we've done the qualifying lobby rather than the race lobby. So that's on the 3rd of August. Make sure you check back for that. I will be back on again tomorrow night for the P1 race, their Super Formula Leagues, and then I'm back on Sunday for the NXTGEN VLN series. That's on at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow's race is on at 9 o'clock, so I'll catch you then if you're coming over to watch. Other than that, my name's darksmoka. I'm out of here.